message from Diana's 2020.
Pooja, does everyone have sound? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Pooja Sebai, we have sound now, and your screen share is up. Your camera is not on as yet. Headset.
Pooja, everyone. And Dua for attending today. We'll begin with an opening prayer, and then we will continue with the program. O Mamurapta.
Oh, Mahurapata.
O Mamurapta.
Oh, Mahurapata.
O Mamurapta.
Oh, Mahurapata.
O Mamurapta.
Oh, Mahurapata.
Amasu paneter, sausemete paneter, radwanuma, keti paharu.
Amasun paneter, saksun paneter, atmarma kerika haru.
What's up? I'd like to begin before speaking further, begin with an introductory video that I hope you'll all like. The answer is coming on. Let's see. Hang on. Hang on. Let me find it. I thought it was going to play inside the slide. Okay. Up again. That was a video that, well, two segments that Professor Beckett put together. I added our regular intro. So everybody enjoyed that. Yeah. Let's took it off. Yes, so let me restart the presentation. You will come on. Hold on a second.
Puja, peace and blessings. Sebai Maa here. Just wanted to say welcome and I guess happy anniversary. So Sebai Maa, if you ask Sebai Maa myself, when is uh, our marriage anniversary? I don't know if he has a clue. I know I don't have a clue. But you can see in terms of what is significant and important to us that is what we celebrate is the spiritual wisdom of the ancestors, and the opportunity to be partaken in that lineage of passing it on. And so welcome and peace and blessings, everyone. That's fine. Did it capture that look again?
Probably. Okay, so hopefully everybody saw the video and enjoyed it, and it's especially kind of put together for today. And so we are celebrating the 8th year anniversary of the formation of the Kemet University. And Kemet University, Ancient Egyptian Mystery School. And I wanted to do a couple of special things for this times. We haven't done this for like 2 or 3 years. A little talk, basically, commemorating. I think the last one was on the sixth year. But I want to talk a little bit or give some examples or some snippets from the early beginnings of the Kemet University, and to do a couple of special mentions, and then talk about the current offerings at the Kemet University and the adjunct as it's working out in the Kemet TV. So it's like how some universities have their TV stations. Well, in a sense, the Kemet TV is the TV station for the Kemet University. So you're going to see it more coming into focus that way, as I'm going to show you. So on the right side of your screen is the Kemet University website. And this is the site that has information about the programs. And that's at kemetuniversity.com or egyptianmysteries.org or egyptianmysteryschool.com. So let's go ahead. This is the early beginnings, and this is from 2008. Actually, this is not the very beginning. The very beginning, we had set up in the early 2000s what was something that we call a associate degree program, and that was a correspondence program that many people did, and it was much liked by inmates at correctional institutions. It's something that was discontinued a few years ago, but it's something that a lot of people enjoyed. It had about 5 courses in it, and then at the end, we would offer an associate degree, what we called an associate degree, and then the idea came to do, for continuing education, to do a bachelor's degree. And this is following the model of the nomenclature, following the model of the Western, associate degree, bachelor's, etc. Well, at that time, this is 2008, mind you. This is before Zoom. This is when these programs for doing webinars had just come into being, and they were not very good. But I decided to try it anyway, and we did a few meetings. But well, let me play it, and then I'll tell you what happened, and hopefully this one will play. Let me take my camera off so you can have a bigger screen. Puja, greetings. My name is Sebai, Dr. Muwada Ashley. I'm the head and founder of the Kemet University. I welcome you to our virtual classroom. What you see here on the screen is a classroom that we'll be using to study the teaching of Shadal Neter, ancient Egyptian mysteries, spirituality, religion, and Simatawi, Egyptian yoga. As you can see on this particular screen, the program that we're using, we are capable of having video images as well as audio communication two-way. On the top left hand of your screen, you see that there's a capacity for having videos of you, the students. And on the right side of the screen, you have the capacity of seeing myself, the teacher. This presentation will be a brief introduction to the Kemet University and its goals and objectives, and how we will be using this program in order to convey the teaching of Shadal Neter, ancient Egyptian African religion. I'm going to transfer now the image to open up the PowerPoint presentation. Here you can see that we can have in the main screen a presentation, and in this classroom, this virtual classroom also, some of you who are advancing in the more advanced programs of the Kemet University will be able to do presentations as well. On the right hand side of the screen, you can see the text communication capacity still remains. You can write the text on the screen and it will appear for the other people to see as well, even as we are conducting the presentation. On the bottom here where it says push to talk, we can have two-way communications as well through audio. First of all, the SEMA Institute is the parent organization, and there are several divisions underneath that. The Kemet University is one of those divisions. It is the division through which we carry out the instruction of the Shadal Neter advancing educational programs. There are two of those programs currently. One is the associate degree, which is for beginners, and the next advancing one is the bachelor's degree program. The associate degree is the prerequisite for the bachelor's degree program. Now, what are the goals of the Kemet University? There are two main goals of the Kemet University, and the first one is to promote personal competency. And firstly, that means being able to cope with life. There are many people who go on in the world, but they do not cope with life. They merely exist, or they merely suffer, and they do not find their way in life. They do not find the meaning of life, the purpose of life. In order for that to come about, it is important for a person to develop personal integrity. And that occurs when a human being develops ethical conscience, learning the teachings of righteousness, order, and truth. And that is what the Kemetic culture refers to as Ma'at, Ma'at philosophy. When a person begins to develop competency, integrity, and starts to act with such, then they develop wisdom, which is an integration of knowledge plus
application. When you learn the ethical teaching and then you apply it in the world, you become wise. And you're able to begin to understand life and how things operate in the world, why things occur in the world. And the outcome of this is personal enlightenment. And this means reaching a state of contentment, of peace, and transcendental consciousness. And this is the ultimate purpose of the Kemet University from the perspective of the individual personality. This is the coveted goal of all initiates of all spiritual traditions. It is the main purpose of the creation of the temples for the evolution of a human being. Also, there's a second purpose. So the first purpose was personal competency, to be able to handle your life, to be able to handle your spiritual evolution, your ethical conscience, your life as a human being. And also, there is another goal of the Kemetic culture, which is to promote universal well-being, universal harmony, universal humanity. In order for that to happen, it is necessary to have individual harmony and individual humanity, which depend on individual wisdom. So the individual practice, individual studies lead to the foundation for a social culture of harmony and humanity. When a human being develops that wisdom, they develop the will to act with order and truth and righteousness. They develop individual ethics in a true sense. That wisdom develops into a powerful foundation for the individual and for society. And that occurs through Shedi, the study and application of the teaching Amat and Shetal Neter. So the curriculum of the Kemet University imparts the wisdom of Shedi, the disciplines for penetrating the teachings and their study and their application. Individual will comes when a human being develops inner contentment. The wisdom of life and the experience with the application of the teaching and the application of the disciplines of the teaching allow one to stop squandering their energies in the world, allow one to develop willpower to express and act with order, righteousness, and truth. And that truly is the foundation of social justice, which really depends on supreme ethic. And that is the ultimate understanding that all are one, that we are not separate individuals, that we are not separate from nature, separate from other human beings, separate from other countries, that all human beings need to be protected, need to be cherished, need to be assisted in their evolution. And there are three main purposes or three main goals in the social universal well-being aspect of the Kemetic culture. And that is that everyone should have the basic necessities of life, the food, shelter, and opportunity. And then there can be true justice for all humanity. Therefore, universal well-being, harmony, and humanity depend on individual wisdom, individual will, individual ethics. And that comes from the personal competency aspect of the goal. So this is how the twofold purpose of the Kemet University curriculum works to promote the well-being of the individual and the well-being of society as well. This, therefore, will involve the study of the teaching of the temple related to the spiritual mysteries, as well as the study of the social order, righteousness in government, and economics. The picture that we see here is the main temple that our teaching is based on, the Temple of Aset on Ajilkia Island in Kemet, Egypt, Africa. The image that you see now below is from one of the classes, one of the seminars, where I, as well as my partner, Sebai Maa, were conducting instructions. Here, Sebai Maa is conducting a lecture. Here, students were outside after one of the lectures, taking a break, as well as practicing meditation and exercises. This picture was taken on the concluding day of the seminar, where all gathered for a group picture. So, the spiritual enlightenment of the individual may be seen in terms of personal competency, integrity, wisdom, self-knowledge, and ethics and will that allow the social order to promote the necessities of life for all people. And that requires a well-developed will, force, capacity in a human being. And that sustains true justice. And that leads to harmony and humanity for all society. As I said before, there are two main programs for the Kemet University, the associate degree program and the bachelor's degree program. This schedule applies to both. We are on a quarter system. So the first quarter of the year is from January 1st to March 24th. The second is from April 1st to June 23rd. The third quarter is from July 1st to September 22nd. The fourth quarter is from October 1st to December 22nd. There is a deadline to complete assignments in the associate degree program. Students should work to complete the following assignments in each class in the following way so as to not fall behind. There are three kinds of assignments in the associate degree program. One is a video or audio assignment. Another one is the progress test, and the other one is a final test. There are 3 months in each quarter, so you have a month to complete each assignment. The first assignment should be done by the end of the first month of the quarter, which is the video and audio assignments. The progress test, which is a set of questions that help you work through the book, text for the class, should be completed by the end of the second month of the quarter. And the final test that you'll be turning back into for grading, along with your video and audio assignments, should be done by the end of the third week of the third month of the quarter. The bachelor's degree program, as I said before, the prerequisite is the associate degree program or equivalent. The classwork required is more advanced than the associate degree program. Each class consists of a book and class tests, and may also include DVD lecture and CD recording. Each class assignment consists of one test with questions from the text and 3 essays, one to be completed each month of the quarter. Minimum number of words for the essay papers is 1,000. And these are to be submitted electronically as a PDF file or as a Word document. Some classes may require book reports or term papers.
Good job. So that gives you an idea of what I was trying to accomplish back, what is it, 14 years ago? And where we are today with the quality of the program that we use for the communications, and Zoom is there, which has even more features. But we've had this one, I think, even before Zoom became popular. But Zoom was much more expensive, I think, also. That in any case, that gives you an idea of what we were doing back. And so anyway, what happened was that, as you can see, the quality is not so great. And you see all these features that I was talking about. That here's the text, and we can see the video of everybody's face, and we can play the PowerPoint, and we can do everything. And it was difficult to get it all to work, as well as this video came out, this presentation came out, and when it wasn't breaking down or wasn't working or hanging up, and the internet was not what it is today also. So that was another issue. So there were many issues, there were many troubles, and the universities, big universities, were using programs that were thousands of dollars. And also they had these what they call T lines, these very high capacity. It was something even better than, well, probably the same as what we call broadband now, or now they have fiber optic and they have different things. But back then, in the mid 2000s, early and mid 2000s, the quality was very, very low. And so that, you know how when you have a live program, there's many things that can go wrong, many problems that can come up, or many things, especially when you're going live, doing something live. That's the most dangerous time. But you can see the quality in this one. You can make out some of the text, so it's not as clear, not as crisp. But all of that I just mentioned aside, and the operator has to run all these things, and if it breaks down, you have to stop the lecture, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. On top of all of that, if that wasn't enough, then, like I said, the internet was not so great. So communication with other people around the country, let alone around the world, the communication capacity itself was not very good. You had the line hanging up or a delay, and then on top of all of that, people, which back then, remember, it's 2008, computers were pretty decent if you spend some money, but the cheap ones were not so great. Like now, you can get a pretty great computer very cheap. And of course, in the 90s, you can get a laptop and a desktop and things like that, and they were pretty good if you spend a good amount of money. But the other side of the coin is that people have to have good computers on their side too, and that was another source of problems. People using old computers from the 90s, or and also another issue was the operating systems. Apple and Microsoft, they were not really set up to do online communications and programs and educational, for educational programming. So that was another issue. So there were a lot of issues back then, but we tried anyway. The good old college try, like they say. So anyway, for many reasons like that, and a couple others, it was this particular try at the Kemet University was discontinued. It was not taken to completion. This is like the beginning of the program, and what happened was that uh, I thought about it for several years. We actually even did another program, um, for the clergy students, and in the early like 2011, and but that was not. I don't recall with this kind of a system like a webinar kind of system. So I was thinking about it for some years, still longer. Um, but ever since we tried to do this, I was thinking about it and um, how to do it and how. But really, to go just this is just the webinar part of it. The whole part of it was doing a school system that people can do assignments and post communications and reactions and view recordings. And actually, um, when I did a master's degree, we did something similar. They did not have all the capability that we're talking now. Even um, it was something more that you log in and you can listen to recordings and then you post your assignments and different things like that. Um, but it wasn't really. I don't recall it was live. This is much earlier, years earlier than even this. And so in the mid 20 2020s, I guess, like mid 2012, 13, 4, 11, 12, 13, I was thinking about it more, and I had discussed this with a few students because they had asked, why don't you do a teaching program and that kind of thing. So, but I was thinking about how to work it out, and I looking back on that, I'd probably be still thinking about it. But we had a catalyst that 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 was an impetus to get things going, and that was Sergeant Lee Setep. I'm not sure if he's on today or not, but I've mentioned him before in previous years. That he was really the impetus to get Kemet, to get me to put together the Kemet University as you see it today, and that was in 2014, or maybe going back to a year earlier. And then so because I was busy, doing everything I'm doing and things like that. So he's saying, what do you need? So I need somebody an IT person to help put this together, the things that I wanted to do and things like that. And then he said, okay. Judy said, okay, I'll find somebody. And then he came back with a young woman by a name, I believe her name was Sabrina. And I don't have a picture of her. That's why I have a silhouette there. And she has since passed on. She died of breast cancer. But she basically put together the Asaru College on my instructions on what I wanted to do, and she found the plugins and she put it all together, and that is basically the way it is today with some adjustments and a few changes. Is basically what you see today. Uh, was that was the benefit of someone like Judy said, that to have the impetus and the perseverance to find someone with the right skills who could listen to what I was trying to accomplish and help to put it together. And now since then, there are programs that are called LMS, Learning Management Systems, and they have plugins so that anyone can do it now. With WordPress, you can put a plugin in, and it'll do pretty much everything that I wanted to do. But back then, there wasn't a program that would do exactly all the things that I wanted it to do. So we had to cobble it together, different plugins to do all the different things, and then to get them to work together, uh, that was a feat. And then over the years, to keep it from breaking down, that's another feat. And but anyway, it has been troubling at times, but it has been overall successful in what it was set out to do, and it's still doing. And we're looking to make some good improvements going forward into next year. So for now, dua to Sarjudi Setep and to Sabrina. Hey, where are we going with this? Okay, so where are we currently with the Kemet University? Let me see if we're on the right slide, because something is happening. Okay, here. So this is the Kemet University website. Like I said, kemetuniversity.com, Kemet University, or Kemet, EgyptianMysteries.org, or EgyptianMysterySchool.com will get you here. And here you will be able to see the current programs, although this particular site is being revamped as we speak. You can get an idea of the basic programs that are available. And then once you fill out the application, you will be sent to the actual college where the first set of studies are accomplished. And the main programs that we have going on now that we don't call them a associate degree or bachelor's degree anymore. We use a different nomenclature, which is more aligned to the ancient tradition, and which is Egyptian Mysteries. Level 1. It started out with a level 2 and level 3, but the level 2 and 3 have been assigned to different programs that was started, very shortly after the inception of the university, which is the Temple of Aset and the Temple of Asar, and then later on a clergy studies program was instituted, and those have been going on for years. Some of them are going into a transition phase, going into next year as well. But the main program that has been ongoing since the beginning is EM level 1, or Egyptian Mysteries level 1, and that goes along with the 3 levels of initiation: the neophyte, the intermediary, and advanced. So it follows that context. Like I was saying before, the Kemet television, which actually was put together back in 2014 also. I was looking at that. It was interesting. It was that far back. But it hasn't been used so much because we had trouble with the plugin on it, and we changed plugins, and this one seems to be working out extremely well. And this is kind of now following the original vision and taking it a step further with some things that I'm going to discuss right now in a way. So it's acting in conjunction with Kemet University. to have like a kind of outreach. So the Kemet University, Asaru College, that is where intensive initiatic studies and mentored studies are carried forth. And the Kemet Television is going to do that, but in a different way. It's going to put out studies and wisdom for people to view and listen to and work with, and that's the basic membership. The premium membership will also have special programs, including courses, not as intensive as Asaru College, but courses or programs, lesson series that they can work with at their level. So the general membership, there's general membership and premium. So the general membership will, actually I'll go to, on the next slide, I think I have a listing of everything that's included. So we're going to have basically general programs, pre-recorded programs, and also premium programs. Currently, the two programs that have been instituted, or that will be instituted, currently Ancient Egyptian Economics is the premium program. So let me back up. Up to now, we've had the general membership, which is like an archive of lectures and presentations, teaching programs, including recordings from the annual conferences going back like 15 years. And now we're instituting the new aspect of Kemet Television that's associated with the Kemet University, and that is the premium programs, the courses, and special presentations that have an interaction that are good, that go beyond the recordings. And so two of these programs, these special programs coming up, well, one of them is already started, the Ancient Egyptian Economics. And the reason I started now instead of in January, like we're transitioning everything like to next year, is because there's something going on in the economy right now that I felt it was important to pass on information from the researchers, because actually there's a book, Ancient Egyptian Economics, that has a lot of this wisdom, but now it's kind of an update and following the current situation. And later on, we're going to be talking about what to do about the situation, what can be done. And coming up in 2023, January, it is scheduled currently we're starting a series on the Kemetic diet. It's going to be a monthly series, slated for 12 lectures, so it'll go throughout the whole year. And then the recordings will be available for premium membership. Actually, sorry, this program will not be premium membership. The Ancient Egyptian Economics will be, or is, premium. The Kemetic diet will be a live series that will be available to the general membership going forward. So on the Kemet University, there will be some programs that are just live lectures, new lectures. You will have the recordings there. Sometimes we'll have what we call live replays. And live replays are we'll play a recording and then we'll have live discussion about it afterwards. And so that'll be for the general membership. In addition to the general membership, there'll be the premium membership, which will have courses, more interactive programs that take more time for development and programming. One notice here that I have to remind you is that for those of you who are in the Ancient Egyptian Economics, on the 30th, there will be the first Q&A session. So you should keep that in mind. Also, I've been posting things pretty much daily since the program started. So you should try to keep up with those. And if you have any questions about those postings, we will deal with those on the 30th. Then the next lesson in that program will be on November 12th, I believe. Okay. So as far as, let me go to the next slide. That was the reminder. It was supposed to come in and do a little spiral thing. A special announcement is that the Kemetic Diet lecture series that is coming in 2013, I've decided to do a preview of that program in November. So the date is to be announced still. But the reason is because there's a few points that Sebai and I have discovered in dealing with health issues that we'll discuss, and from family members as well.
Is it 2013? You meant
2023. Yes, not 2013, 2023. So the Kemetic Diet lecture series is slated to start in 2023, but I decided to do a preview lecture next month that's going to have a few important pointers. Let me read what I have here. This live series will be open to the general membership of Kemet TV. In November 2022, there will be a preview of the Kemetic Diet live series of 2023. So the date for the November lecture is still to be announced. During the preview in November, there will be a special update on health insurance for those choosing insurance before 2023 on the marketplace or otherwise. This is special pointers that we discovered, whether you're going to marketplace or not, what kind of insurance is better, if we can say that the whole messed up U.S. medical system, if there's anything better, but yes, I think we can say something is better than worse. So anyway, we'll leave that discussion for November, as well as a few other pointers about handling expenses, medical expenses going forward. So special resources of information will be given out for that. So you can look forward to this series beginning next month, and then we will not have another lecture until January in this particular series. And in December, we're going to be, preparing for the annual winter conference. So the Kemet University TV extension. Basically, there are two levels of membership, just to keep it simple for now. The general access membership and the general access plus premium content. And so the general membership includes access to pre-recorded lectures and programs. And this is the vast archive. I don't even know how many individual programs there are on there. But I think if we count all the videos and everything, it goes into the hundreds. And that spans going back 15, 20 years. There's also going to be access to live replays, like I discussed. We haven't done a live replay for a while. We have done it in the past, a few years ago, but we want to bring that back. Where we go to a pre-recorded lecture that was given years ago, play that, and then we have a live discussion, bringing it up to date, any additions after that as well. That's called a live replay. And then we also have access to new live talks, and the Kemetic Diet will be one of those new live talks. New talk that will be given specially for those who are members of the Kemet, the general membership. So the general, that's the general membership. So the general plus premium membership will have access to everything that the general membership does, but also it will have access to selected premium programs and courses as well. For those who want to have access to these other special programs. And like we said, the ancient Egyptian economics is one of those premium programs, and there are a couple others slated to be done. But that's the current configuration that we're going with, for the next year, and then we can reevaluate and go from there. That's it. That was the last slide. Are there any questions or comments about anything that was discussed? I'd like to say dua to everyone for support of the Kemet University, such as it is, and also wanted to, I didn't have her picture on here, but special thanks to Basta Baquet. She's been a very strong assistant to helping, getting all the notices to people and helping me, especially lately. She's gotten more technically savvy and dealing with the backside of the website and the membership plugin and doing many technical things. So, which is very much appreciated, and she is very patient. It reminded me of things and getting back and things like that. So, don't have her picture up here. Maybe we can bring her on so everybody can see her as well. Baquet, why don't you turn your camera a bit so that everyone can know who you are? They can see you.
Just Sebai. Much dua. But all praise to you and Sebai Maa for what you produce and how you share with humanity. What I will say about what I find very special about Kemet TV is, as we said, it's such an archive, and Sebai Maa said it best when she said it's like the Library of Congress. And however, it kind of also reminds me of when you're in the temple, especially Temple of Asaru, and there's all those columns with all the teachings on them, surrounded everywhere where you are. That's what Kemet TV is like. As far as KMTU, that I have hardly any words for that. That is such a special place for me, where thankfully I was able to get through the Temple of Aset, and now also a student of the Temple of Asaru, as well as the clergy course. So lots going on, and it's just a very nefer environment to be in. We're talking about higher education, like, and you were talking about having the associate's degree and bachelor's degree and how it's a mystery school. Indeed, these teachings are the ultimate higher education for all of us. And if we care to imbibe in it and take that step to the self-effort, which does require a lot, but the boons are never ending. So much dua to you and Sebai Maa, and to all the Bastu, and to the Hemu, and to all of the Rekit and the Shems, Asaru. A dua to you all for the support of the school. Heta.
What's up, and dua? Just taking a little stroll through communiversity.com. Like I say, this site is being revamped currently. But for those who are interested, you can go here and place an application. This gives you an idea of the current main courses, although there are different things coming online, especially for next year. But everyone pretty much begins with the Egyptian Mysteries Level 1. And as for Kemet TV, this site has been revamped recently, and like I say, we have it running what I would consider very well, finally. And so here are different memberships that are discussed, and here you can go and see all of the archive programs that are available. It's just a kind of a massive list. All of these in particular are listings, and you go into them and you can see the video. Well, here I'm not logged in, so show me I have to be logged in with the membership. It shows you the programs, the titles are available. If you go in, some of these have one video, some have several videos in the series. And you go all the way down to the bottom, and you can see the conferences. And to me, these are the crown jewels, the conferences that we put a lot of energy into those, and especially in the last 10 years, the conferences have received the highest kind of of programming and preparation of the teachings, bringing them forth from scratch, meaning from original research done on the hieroglyph text. So the teaching that we bring forth is not derivative, or is not based on the work of Egyptologists or anyone. It is based on what is called basic research, which means that we bring the exact panels, teachings, recorded copies from Kemet, and then we do our own review, our own translations, and we bring forth the teaching in that way. So all the programs are like that, but especially the annual conferences. And so I mean, that alone, yeah, the conferences alone, but the rest of the archive, as you see here, is pretty full. You have some videos giving instructions on how to run the how to search the programs, how to open them, how to expand them to full screen, et cetera, et cetera. And this on the right here, for those of you who are not members, you can go and look at some of the recent posts, and these are related to the premium programming. So the main programs, recorded programs, you'll usually not see postings, and that's why the premium programs are premium, because these are active, ongoing kinds of programs that are there, that are special, and they are more in the format of a course. We have lessons, specific teaching being given, and there's also interaction, a discussion forum associated with it. It's not as intensive as the Asaru College. That's a lot more writing, a lot more study, a lot more reading, and a lot more work. So that's kind of the difference there. Also, there's a listing of free programs. There's listing for the YouTube channel. There are many programs that are available there for free. And also, Sebai Maa has programs on here as well. Currently, I think most of our programs are recorded, but she'll probably be doing some live things as well at some point. You want to say anything?
Yeah, just is the program in there? You're doing Kemet television, so
That was the last thing I was looking at right now.
I was talking to Daniel. Sorry.
What do you want to say?
Sorry.
You can see if I'm logged in here. All right.
Of course. Okay, I was going to share that it took me a while to start to do the online programs. I'm more of an in-person type of personality.
Okay, let's see. We started in 2014. And when did you start getting on there finally?
After the after
After Serpent Power.
Yeah, I think I did it in person one.
That was 2017 or 18?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was one of those years. So it took you like 3 or 4 years to dip the toe and get in and start working or something like that. Okay.
So it's taken a while. And I just wanted to share. So last year, I had the second trip to Kemet, and in preparation for that course. So for the first year, 2019, I guess we had the first trip. I had the first trip. And so you see the Temples of Kemet course syllabus there, which are like I think there were four presentations. And I just wanted to share with the Temples of Kemet and the trip to Kemet course that one should does not think that they're just images and pictures of, that you'll see in the trip to Kemet. It's actually very intensive, as normally the lectures that Sebai Maa I tend to do can run like 4 hours to 5 hours. So once a month, since we do once a month format. So it's self-paced, both courses. The trip to Kemet, go to course programs again. The trip to Kemet is very includes the Temples of Kemet replays in there as part of it, and then it also goes through a lot of Serpent Power. It has like a self-assessment questions after you or while you're looking at the videos. You can look at the self-assessment questions, and then it also has answers to the self-assessment where I answered each of the questions in the self-assessment, and not only just like yes, no, but given pretty detailed explanation. So it's very comprehensive for really understanding the philosophy related to the panels, to the presentation, to the temples as well. So it's a very, it's possibly, I don't know if there's a such thing as too comprehensive because it's very intensive, but it's something that you're welcome to do. Self-paced, look at the videos at your own time frame, and then you do have the references of the there of the self-assessment and the comprehensive answers to the self-assessment as well. So I just wanted to let you know it's just more than just images and pictures and videos of Kemet. It's a very intensive study of the philosophy as well related to that. That's all.
Okay, are there any?
And I want to say do with Rusty Bucket also, and really to many of you who really facilitate the temple and the university in so many various ways that behind the scenes oftentimes. So much due to everyone to facilitating and making this work. It reminds me of Basti Bucket gave one example, but it reminds me of it. It also reminds me of the like a repository, like the
Library of Alexandria.
The Library of Alexandria. That was a repository of the papyri, and this is like that with webinars, I guess. just a repository of information. And why it was interesting is that I think Uebamunti always talks about the consistency of Sebai Maa and of the programs of the temple throughout the years. Like she has commented that there's always a consistency in. And so it was interesting that Sebai Maa played that very old video, and it just sounds like certain words that he uses, he has used, certain words he used, like in the teachings of Sage Amenemopi, that like I actually hadn't like noticed, but it stood out because he used it a lot in the teachings of Sage Amenemopi, which is like a recent program. And then to hear it way back then, it being used, the terminology being used. So it was interesting to see the consistency and what he talked about and the organization of the thought process and the spiritual journey and one's spiritual process. So do Sebai Maa also. That's how.
Jasu,
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to share also, I was quite impressed with the 2008, the innovation of what Sebai Maa had put together then, because you mentioned about Zoom, and I looked it up about Zoom, and Zoom was not, their beta was not even available until 2012. So you were way ahead of your time, Sebai, and continue to be. Much dua. Heads up.
Yeah, I had of my time in losing years from stress and wits from trying to get that thing to work. I should have just waited. I should have hung out waiting, which I actually ended up doing until better systems came along. No, I'm just joking. It was an effort that was tried, and you know as well, other people I know, I try things even if it looks like they're not going to work, because you never know. Different RU, might interject and get things going, but the effort of getting something going contributes to the further success of something in the future as well. So there are no regrets or anything like that. I was just joking that it didn't. It really was more trouble than just to get that level of something working. But when you get things to work, for something good to work, several things have to be clicking all together. You have to be the right person. You have to have the right idea. There has to be other people around to support it, and those people have to be capable of supporting. So the idea has to be good, but also the idea has to be right for its time. So there are many things that have to come around to click to make things work. And sometimes idea comes before its time, but then the time catches up to the idea. So hopefully you're still around to be able to to work with the idea at that point. But that's how things are. That's just how things work. So and like I said, I was thinking about doing something, but then Jehudi said that was kind of a I wouldn't use the word pestering. He was like nicely insisting, put it that way. Like he would come back and say, every once in a while say what's going on, or we should do this, or can we do this? Can we get this going? And I say, okay, let's. And reason why I think I delayed the last year before we started was because I had been traumatized from before. I remember how much trouble it was, and then that was part of it. Also, I was busy, doing something at the time, in 2014. So I said, okay, let's give it a try. Let's see what pops up, and then see how it's not just getting it together, but then people started supporting it, and then it became a help in the way because I could afford to spend more time with it, and not so much time in the things that I was doing, writing books and different things to bring in income and things like that. So it worked because it was supported at the time. like back in the earlier day, it was not really able to be supported. People didn't have the right computers, and it was a whole new thing doing online, and we had up to that time mostly been communicating by telephone or meeting once a year conferences, things like that. So this is like a brand new, it's a shaking. Something when something new comes along, it shakes you because you're not used to it, and it's you have to. And so by 2014, people were more used to the internet and online, and they had better computers. The internet itself was better, uh, but even back then, it was ancient compared to the quality of the way it is now. I mean, we used to have breakdowns and breakdowns in communication, and so there are many technical issues that have been more resolved now. So it's much easier to do this now and effectively. We have less breakdowns. We do have technical things that come along, but not like back then. Uh, so so that should help, I guess, remind us that whatever technical that we have now, it's nothing like we used to have back in those days, especially pre 2000 and definitely pre 2010, but I think definitely pre like 2012, 11. That's when I think um, money was put into these systems, and then in the mid 2000s, 2020s, 360 cameras started coming in, and then that was another technological advancement that I latched on to. That many of you have seen the results of that, and but what you've seen is still with the older technology. I wanted to upgrade those on the next trip with the newer, but everything has been updated. So the quality of everything technological, with the new cameras that are available now, and that they are not just priced for the professionals. They're they're really professional cameras from 2 or 3 years ago that are available now, easily accessible financially, to do this kind of professional work. So on the next trip, we'll be upgrading those as well. So you'll see that the quality of the pictures going in the books is going to be improving, and on the sites. So yeah, so the response to the pandemic, the lockdowns and all the other things that were done, put a damper on traveling and doing different things. So it made it more difficult, but we're eventually going to persevere anyway. So that's what you can look forward to. One thing is the quality issue, and of course there's more teaching to be given, many different angles that are still left to be explored and to be presented. Even though the teaching is one, but there are many angles that help to promote better understanding, and that's going to be coming forward. Okay, any questions or comments before we conclude?
Does Asaru want to say anything about the conference?
Would anyone in the annual conference committee or the clergy group, Sarmat, would you like to say anything about the upcoming conference?
Uja, Dua.
Good job.
See if I can turn on my camera. Uja,
Puja.
Dua, Sebai Maa, Dua. So Dua for the opportunity just to share information about this year's upcoming conference. I am a member of the clergy students program, and we are facilitating a conference this year in support of Sebai Maa and Sebai Jah. And this year, our theme or title is Kemetic Mindful Meditation, and our theme is Mystic Identification and Glorious Light Meditation. And so the conference will offer an opportunity to learn and go deeper into the Glorious Light meditation system. And we will have Glorious Light meditation certified practitioners to join and support facilitation of the conference. So we are excited and looking forward to this year's conference. The conference information and registration will be coming forth soon, and we will chat the email for our conference co-chair. Our conference chair is Basu Jedu Keru, and the co-chair is Ua Natert, Shems Ua Natert. So dua to them for their Ma'at Ari and service, and dua to all of the conference committee members who are helping to put forth the conference this year. We are very excited and welcome dua for the putting up the conference flyer.
Yeah, that's the one I had available for now. Anything you want to say
Yes.
about it?
I would just stress that again, the conference is focused on the Glorious Light meditation system in particular. And so if you do not have a copy of that text, you would want to order one prior to conference and become familiar with it, read it and become familiar with it. If you are someone who has it, this would be enough opportunity to begin to review again. And we are working this year to invite those who have not been to conference before to come, and particularly sort of, inviting people who are seeking to, better understand mindfulness from the ancient Egyptian perspective, to help people understand the psycho mythos spirituality behind the oldest meditation system, codified meditation system, Glorious Light meditation, and particularly for those who are interested in authentic African meditation. So do up for putting up the flyer. If you are interested, you can send an email to conference at gmail, netter conference at gmail.com, and information will be sent out to you. And we ask that you invite others who have not come to the Egyptian Yoga Kemetic Conference to join us this year for an opportunity to not only learn about the system, but to system and develop and deepen your meditation practice. So if there's any of our conference want to add, we welcome this.
Yeah, do it for those words of announcement. So we go ahead and conclude. As I said, remember next month the Kemetic Diet inaugural lecture and special information for going forward related to insurance, and also some resources for dealing with expenses and handling the quote unquote the system. And we'll leave that at that for now. Look forward to the next meeting of the Ancient Egyptian Economics. That'll be next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, and followed by the next lesson in that program. And look forward to there are some other things in the works that are slated to begin in early 2023. But now also we are geared to helping or focusing energy in the area of personal health, personal, physiological health, as well as financial health, and of course spiritual health. Those are kind of like the three foci, if that's a word, foci, going forward. And so you're going to see special programs related to those, with the information that I think you may not be getting from other sources, or the way that we will compile the sources and make them accessible. And those of you who have known us for all the years, you know how we do things in a very intensive way that is filtered by the wisdom teaching, that is distilled by the wisdom teaching. And that's what I think is very valuable. One of the services that are very valuable that we provide. So do it to everyone for attending, and we look forward to another year of the Kemet University, and now with the Kemet TV adjunct.
Just wanted to say, for those who are eligible for the Sage and Minimopi programs that I was doing, that next week will be chapter 18. We've been trying to do chapter 18 to officially conclude for a while. So it will, I think we did part 1 of chapter 18, or lecture 18, presentation 18. So next Saturday evening will be the last presentation to conclude that series officially. Anyone turn on their cameras for closing? No? Someone would like to, if they're in a sacred space.
I was looking at some of the chat. Muhatab says, "Dua Sebai Maa, Sebai Jaa for all the teachings you bring to us, and still the energy you bring." Katep. Sashida Nebet Kamenu says, "Dua for the conference theme. I'm looking forward to learning more." Very good. Dua, everyone.
Dua.
Oh, Mamu.
Stay there Sebai, 1 second. If you could all just stay there 1 second. I'll get your picture.
Where's your picture?
Oh,
Where's everybody else's picture?
all right. Do it. Okay, let me try and get everyone.
Where's everybody else's picture?
They're coming. They're coming. Okay. Dua. Hatep.
Oh, Mamu Rapta.
Mamamun.
Om Amun Rabata.
Oh, Mamu Rapta.
Om Amun Rabata.
Oh, Mamu Rapta.
Om Rabata.
Oh, Mamu Rapta.
Om Rabata.
Amasu Paneter, South Sunete Paneter, Adwanuma, Kedipaharu. Give thyself to God, keep thyself daily for God, and let tomorrow be as today. Atadi Sinatadi Metawaj. Atadi Sinatadi Metawaj. Atadi Sinatadi Metawaj. Atadi Sinatadi Metawaj. Offering is given to promote the greening of the vascular systems of the body. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Do everyone.
Go on.